Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn and I'm also known as the original Runway Diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. Today my guest lecturer is Angelica Morton. She has had a huge career as both a straight and plus size model and recently transitioned into the role of celebrity stylist. Welcome Angelica to Model Behavior.
Thank you, Sharon.
Now, you've done so much. You're an industry icon. You're definitely a pioneer in the plus size industry.
Thank you.
And so what we do here is we teach. So everybody is going to want to know how you got your start as a model.
Wow. You want to start all the way back?
Yeah, let's just take it all the way back.
I was walking in Georgetown in Washington, D.C., where I was raised with my mom, and we were having a little girls' weekend shopping. And there's this director pulls my mother over and asks, could I be in a movie called Good to Go, which was about go-go music. And I played Charlemagne in the movie, and I got paid $100 a day.
Oh.
And my mother couldn't believe it, because she went with me, of course, because I was still in high school. And so I show up there, and it was like a real movie set going on in Georgetown.
Can we find a clip of this movie?
I'm quite sure you can.
Okay.
I played Charlemagne. I was one of the girlfriends of the older executive, rich man. How poignant. Anyway, so, and then there was Trisha Erickson, who also discovered me at Clyde's restaurant in Georgetown. And I did like 3 jobs in DC, and then before you know, I was in New York with Sue Charney, who was my straight size agent. And I worked off of 1 photo the entire summer.
See, that's how you do it.
Right. I worked 1 photo, and I came in when it was the exotic models, half black, half white. And there were 18 of us on the front cover of Time magazine. And all of us had in common of being half black. And and then the rest of half Swiss or half Greek, half, you know,
Oh,
it was,
wow.
yeah, and we were all on it was like an explosion.
This is the cover of Time magazine?
Time magazine.
Okay, you know you got to send me that, right?
If I can.
You don't have that?
I don't. I maybe, you know.
I'm going to go look that up.
Yeah, that was from, I want to say 1990.
Okay. And you started off straight size.
Started out straight size. But, however, I wasn't as successful as I was as a plus size model. But the learning curve to that was that being straight size prepared me for the transition of a plus size model. And that at that time I was a 10, size 10. So I wasn't really plus size.
So you
right.
mean kind
I
of like
curvy.
it is now.
Right. So, you know, I didn't gain curves until my mid-20s, basically. And then it just exploded.
So how did you decide? Did you decide or did your agent decide to transition you into plus?
No, not at all. I took time away as a straight size because I was in between that size of an 8-10. Like as a straight size, 8 was pushing it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so I decided to go to school, George Washington University, got my master's in child psychology.
I did not know that.
I know, y'all don't know a lot of stuff about Angelica,
Okay,
but
all right.
yeah, so I took a break. And then I did a photo shoot with Valerie Curry in Washington, D.C. I'll never forget this. And she said, I can say goodbye to you because this is going to launch your career again. And sure enough, there was a picture of me looking like Pocahontas. And I had this band and I had this like jacket with a fringe on it, sitting in red dirt. And Ford called me right away. And I came up and signed, and that's how it all started.
Wow. Man, I didn't know about the master's degree. High five, girl. Yes.
I got some intelligence.
Now I mean, if people don't know who you are, then you need to do your homework a little bit better, because Angelica was just changed the game every time she took a photograph. Do you have like a favorite, I guess, moment of your career?
Wow, that's a good question. I want to say it was the cover of Mode magazine because I really never thought I would ever be on the cover.
Why is that?
I think because during my time, and despite where the other girls had their problems being discriminated against, but I felt being biracial was against me. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I would go on. I remember Essence Magazine didn't want to hire me, and the girl called, Ford agency and said, I didn't know she had light eyes.
What?
And it was just one of those moments. But God is an amazing
Yes, he is.
power. And I'm walking down Amsterdam. This is when the Shark Bar was still on Amsterdam. I see Susan Taylor, come out of the Shark Bar with her vegetarian meal. And I walked up to her and said, I went on a casting and they felt like I wasn't black enough. And before you knew it, I was booked for that job.
Wow.
I was booked for that job because I said black comes in so many colors.
You better say that.
And that's just what it is. I mean, we live in a melting pot. I don't care if I stand at Port Authority. There is every race or every ethnic group my color.
You're absolutely right.
You see what I'm saying? So whether people are ready for that or not, it is growing every day. So I would say that was one of the moments that I thought was disappointing. But I guess my major was the Mode magazine because I just didn't think I had a chance.
Now, have you been on the covers of anything else? Have you done other covers, or is Mode?
Mode was the only one. I did 3 covers for them.
I do remember that now.
Yeah.
And you had the telephone kiosk, which
Right. That was the,
no one was doing
girl,
that.
that was, I'll never forget that shoot either. That was my favorite because that photographer was so fine. And I remember I was tired because my mom's twin brother, I know this is not funny, but my mom's twin brother died unexpectedly. And I remember doing the shoot for Mode, and they were going to LA, and I was like, God, how come I'm not going? Kate Dillon was going. Kate Dillon was going everywhere. I said, I'll pay for my own ticket. I paid for my own ticket. Got my own hotel. But see, that's how things work.
Yeah, that's the hustle right
That was
there.
the hustle.
Yeah.
And my agents got mad. They were like, how dare you make them? I was like, no, but that was the moment that it was like the light of everything happening. I'm dealt with a funeral. I fly in like at 2 a.m, trying to get the hair off my legs, having my monthly, and exhausted. But I remember sitting on the trailer, and I had my head leaned up against the glass, and I see this man with this long hair, and his tight jeans and this, the shirt, and I look and I said, "Who is that?" And they were like, "That's the photographer, Carlo Della Chelsea." Whew. That Italian man walked out. I was like, I am going to give it my all. And that was it, that one shot. And he said, leave your necklace on. And we're going to put you in this slip, and we just want you to walk. And that was the shot.
And speaking of walking, you just reminded me that you're a Hell 5 runway model, too. You're like a triple threat.
Well, but see, in D.C., I was doing local shows. I was doing retail stores like Heck Company, Woody's, Lord & Taylor's, Garfunkel's. I mean, I was like flying back and forth because although the job paid $100, it was worth it.
Yeah.
At that time. And I would go and it would be like 4 or 5 shows a day.
Yeah. Ooh, I wish we could return back to
Right.
that.
That was the good old days.
Yeah, yeah.
And the mall shows.
Yep.
Oh my God. That was the moment.
Now, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked any of the other models I have on here. When did it change? I mean, I know after September 11th came the recession and all of that stuff.
Well, we were going through the change before
that.
9. Yes,
Yeah.
we were. And I think part of it was that I remember going to Scotland to do a shoot for Lane Bryant. It looked like I shot it in Central Park. That's when money was just exposable. They didn't care. They were like, yeah, we'll go take her out there and we'll just shoot it in the park. I'm like, couldn't we have shot this in Central Park? Because you couldn't tell I was in Scotland. But that's when money was just out of control.
It was plentiful.
It was plentiful. But it was our politics. We can talk about that all day. But
Yeah.
the money thing was just big. I mean, we'll never get that again.
Yeah.
I was getting paid in the air. If my day rate was $3,000, I was getting half of that flying to there and the other half flying back.
I know that's right.
You don't get that anymore.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
Dang.
And then you got a per diem. Like when I went to Germany,
Yeah. And these girls don't even know what a per diem is.
They don't even know what a per diem is.
You be lucky if you
Right.
get, what do you call it?
A snack.
Yeah. They give you an energy bar.
Right. Yeah.
Now, you transitioned from modeling and now you're styling. Are you retired?
I'm retired from modeling. Now, it's going to take a lot of money for me to come out. I'm going to just tell you that right now. I'm going to pull the Vandalisha thing. I was just like, I'm not coming out unless it's like, $6,000 for the day.
I know that's right.
I'm just not doing that. I can't do. I remember someone sent me an email. It's like, can you do an informal modeling out? And it pays $150 an hour. I was like,
No.
see, when I was in my 20s, that sounded real good, But now when you calculate the money and how much it costs to get to the booking, then
And
the
that's
time
what
you
you
pay
gotta do.
right, and time you pay the taxes on that money, you end up with like, $60. It's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Yeah. Now, what was the thing that made you decide that okay, this is it? Was that the moment where you were like, okay, I need to transition to do something
I think my
else. It's
moment
time.
happened. Wow, I'm gonna say when I did a booking with Kate Dillon in one of the islands, and it was just so catty, and I just felt like I just worked too hard to get where I was getting, to have someone calling from a booking to tell people what we were doing, and it was just. It was, yeah, it was just that whole cat, and then your agent is acting up, and I think, and so I felt like I was such a businesswoman. I wasn't the girl that you had to say, listen, we need new pictures. I was on it.
Yes, you were.
Every 6 months I did a new card. So, and then it was just like an agent putting a model against another model.
That started to
that
turn
was
me
kind
off.
of, yeah. And I don't know if it still goes on,
Oh,
but
of course it does,
It does.
yeah.
I just think it's very unfair. I think if Eileen Ford was still around, she would say no. They're like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't need 2 of them looking alike. We don't need 3 of them looking alike. We need just the basic girl. We can make a lot of money, but if you're gonna put the same girl who's looking like the same look,
Yeah.
makes no sense. But I think that's when it really, I lost the drive.
Yeah, if it's not fun anymore, you
Yeah, it
shouldn't-
wasn't fun, and I
shouldn't do
love
it.
to travel. I took advantage of South Africa. If I didn't have to be here to work, I would stay the extra 3 days because the ticket's paid for.
Yeah, I know
I just
that's
had to pay
right.
addition of the hotel.
Yeah. And not everybody gets the sort of career that you have.
Right.
There's a lot of y'all wanting that, and yeah, it ain't gonna happen for
And
lot
a
of
good
y'all.
model,
Sorry.
Sharon, has to be a businesswoman.
Yes, you got to be on
You
top
have to
of that
be on top
at
of
all
it
times.
at all times. It doesn't matter, and you don't have to socialize with them. And that's what I learned. Damn if you do, and damn if you don't. I tried to socialize, but just backfired. You know what I mean? So I should have stayed the lonely wolf. It was better off.
Yeah.
Because my socializing was outside of modeling.
Yeah.
I was dealing with people who were in the music industry or people who were in politics or.
Well, I think that models can be friends to some level, because I mean, you and I are friends.
Right.
But there should, I don't think
But
that.
we don't compete against one
Right.
another. And that was the thing. I felt like I was always in a competition that I wasn't aware of. I just was like hanging out.
Well, you were the model that everybody wanted to be.
Right.
And so I could see how that would cause a problem
Right.
down the line. Because,
Yeah.
human beings they're envious.
Yeah.
So you getting all this work, and I'm not really working. After a while, I'm just going to be
Right.
like.
And you have to
yeah.
have personality.
Yes, you
You
do.
gotta know how to talk to the clients. You gotta, I'm not saying be a clown on the set, but you have to have a personality.
Yep.
You can't just walk in and just look hungry and, hadn't eaten in a couple of days. It's just not gonna work.
Smiling is
Your
important.
smiling's
And I've
very
seen a lot of
important.
girls come on set with the gas face, and I'm like, yeah, they're going to send you home if
Right.
you don't fix this
And
attitude.
you should know when they had a baby or when they got married or if they got a divorce. It's like, those are just things in everyday life that you need to be personable.
And we used to send thank you cards
Yes,
after every booking
exactly.
or casting. They're not doing that
No,
anymore.
I would even take a case of champagne to my agent. If I had a great month, oh yeah, I was rolling up in there giving them each a bottle.
And that's how they work for you. That's how you
Right.
keep them working for
Exactly.
you. But I don't want to run out of time
Sure.
before we talk about that styling piece, because you've been doing really good things as a stylist.
Yeah.
So what made you decide? Well, I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Right.
The transition from modeling to styling.
I always styled my own shoots for my comp card, so it was just natural. I met my mother and grandmother, who are well-dressed women. Like when people would come to my home and they would see them in their, silk slips with a cashmere sweater and smoking a cigarette, and they're like, why are they wearing slips and cashmere? So I'm like, that was the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And you come in the house, they're sitting at the table, they're cutting the tomatoes, they're doing the peas, and that's how I was raised. So I gained all of that from them, but at the same time, being on the shoots as a model, Mimi Fisher called me one day, and she was in LA, and she said, I'm going to be in New York, and I need a stylist. I need an assistant. She said, I always loved your style when you come on your bookings. She said, would you like to assist me? And she said, you're not going to get paid like a model, but, you get $250 a day. I said, you know what? I'll do it. And that's how it got started, because I needed to learn the background of all of that. Because I was so used to being in front of the camera and not behind the camera.
But you've always, this is the one thing that stands out to me about you, is that you've always had a really great sense of style.
Thank you.
So dare I say you need that, because I'm listening to what you're saying, and I know some of y'all are sitting here going that you thinking you can style your own shoots.
No.
You can't.
No.
It's a gift, and particularly when you first starting out, spend the money and get a stylist.
Right.
And then amp up your stylist game and see if later on, you can try that later, but you don't want to do that right out the gate,
Right.
styling yourself, a bad move.
Right. And I think so also that you really have to know your body. You can't just throw anything. In fact, on my website, I have Trisha Campbell as one of my models. Well, I styled her for one of her shoots. And I put her in a Valentino Crinoline skirt. And she didn't think she was going to be able to get in. I said, you're getting in that, girl. And it turned out to be one of the best shots that I've seen a plus girl in a long time. And it looks like she's straight size. You know what I mean? So you have to know how to play with a few different things.
Now, you just said that Trisha looked like she was straight size.
Well-
Now, is that important?
Well, not to look like that, but to think like that in a sense, so you will know that you're not restricted in your movement.
Okay.
And I think that's a lot of things that's wrong with some of the girls, that they don't seem to know how to move. And it's not as editorial. And you know me, I used to take tear sheets out of magazines and I have a pile like this high that I would go to do my shoots, because I was like, I just have to try to mimic that. But it's a lot like acting, and that's what girls need to know. It's not because you're pretty. It's not because you have the look sometimes. You gotta know how to work that camera. It's very, very important.
Yep. And you have to be photogenic.
You have to be photogenic.
And not, I mean, you can
And
be
you gotta know
pretty
your angle.
and not be photogenic.
Exactly.
I've seen that before.
Right. But if you got some acting skills in you, that's the time you pull it out. Pull those tools out, take a mirror, and just play with it. You have to play with it.
And the same rule applies to runway modeling too.
Right.
Because how many well, I don't know about you, but for me, you know how many times I wore stuff that I absolutely hated?
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, well, I got to pretend that this is something that I really like
And even
and pull it off.
Well, even like catalogs. You wear those ugly clothes that it's gonna, cater to the middle America. You gotta sell it.
Yep.
Those khaki pants and that awful shirt and those shoes.
The copy cutlets with the lemon peel.
Exactly.
Oh, I
So,
remember
yeah.
them days.
Right. So those are things that you have to. It's here. It's all in the head, and
Well, and you gotta be a business person
And you
about it. It's
wanna-
not about whether or not you like the clothes. It's not about whether you
Right.
like the
And
makeup,
there's-
any of that. Hair.
Well, I'm gonna say that makeup thing. If you know it ain't right, you go in the bathroom and fix it.
No, see, I never.
Let me tell you why.
ever.
Because that will keep you from getting booked again, believe it or not. Because the makeup artist really messed you up, and they'll say, "Oh, I didn't like how she looked in that last shoot we did."
But how is that you? Okay, I see what you're saying.
Right.
But how is that your fault?
But that's not because the makeup artist is closer to the art director than you are. Because that makeup artist is going to work with them all the time.
And see, now I understand what you're saying because I'm not going to say that I have not done that. I have done it.
Yeah.
But I know how to beat the hell out of a face.
I have left the room and stripped that makeup off and redone my face.
See, I've never done that.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And I don't recommend. And
I'm just saying, always have your makeup with you.
I say bring your kit, bring your
kit.
foundation,
Fix it up.
and try to, you know.
Because if you know you're looking in that mirror and it ain't right, it ain't right. It ain't going to photograph right. Just step away. Be right back. And you know who taught me that? Cynthia Bailey.
Yeah, Cynthia Bailey could do that. You can do that. You New Jacks coming up, don't do that. Don't do that. Bring your foundation, and if you see that the foundation maybe you look a little green or it's a little off, make a gentle suggestion. But I wouldn't say go in and wipe your whole face clean. I'm not.
No,
I'm not
but
gonna
you can enhance it. I'm not saying it has to be the foundation. It could be they didn't put anything on your eyes, or they put blue on your eyeshadow, and you know it ain't. Come on.
Okay, but that goes against.
But if it's an editorial shoot, that's fine. But I'm talking about a real working booking that you want to keep getting booked on continuously. If you know, if I was Talbot's girl, heck yeah, I'm gonna make sure it's right. I've done it. That's a regular, editorial doesn't pay. You know that.
Yes.
It gives you exposure, but you want that client that's gonna book you 18 times a year for 5 days.
Okay, but I understand what you're saying. I'm not going to advocate that they do that though.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're Angelica. Cynthia Bailey is Cynthia Bailey.
Right.
Y'all know what you're doing.
Yeah.
A lot of these chicks don't.
Right.
And they'll not like they'll change the makeup not because it doesn't look right, because they don't like it. And now you're going against the producer or the director's vision.
Well, on editorial, you can't because
Yeah.
they have that's a whole different kind of ball game. But I'm talking about you got to look that everyday girl, and they got you looking really spooky.
That's a tough call.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to say on that.
Okay.
I mean, I know how to tweak stuff, but
Okay.
anyway.
All right.
Now, what is the Sabrina asked me to ask you, what is the story the styling is supposed to tell? It is a story, right?
I believe in stories.
Okay.
I truly believe in stories because you want it to be cohesive in a sense. Let's say it's a 5-page story. Mm-hmm. You want it to tell a story. You don't want to just take pictures of you just standing on the white background. I always say New York is the best background that you can ever use because we have such great landmarks and places and streets that we could use. But you have to tell a story, whether it's, Afternoon Delight, that, she's leaving work early to go see the guy. So you want to put her in the business outfit that she's leaving work, but she starts taking off pieces so the time she arrives to him.
Oh, okay.
She's probably just in a slip and some high heels and some earrings, and they're meeting on the corner, and she's got the little, jacket, It's got to tell a story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, your one of your mantras is combining high-end fashion with accessible everyday style.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means to me, like, this dress is like $400, but I have on a pair of socks that's $2.
Okay.
I have on, these are not the actual Christian Dior earrings. These are RJ Graziano, $15 to expose instead of the $500 earrings. I like mixing and match because it's how you carry it. Nobody would ever know how much that stuff costs because they're looking at it as like it's super expensive. But the high and low for me is like a high. I get so.
And that's you bring that to do you bring that to all of the things
Everything
that you
I
style?
do, everything I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, what are the 5 essential pieces every woman should have in their wardrobe? Can you
Definitely.
get it down to 5?
I can get, sorta. I always say you need a nice black fitted dress like that. Katharine Hepburn that little black dress that you can wear from day to evening. I always think you need a blazer with the one button, taking your waist, a nice scarf, black stilettos.
You just knocked off my whole.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
that ain't gonna happen for me.
And a good lipstick.
Okay, you had me until you said. Talk to me about the scarf.
Well, because sometimes you just want to wear something around your neck, or I think if your hair is loose, it could be softly tied around your hair. You know what I mean? As well, not well. Well, your hair is beautiful. But the scarf is something I think you always kind of need, or a pashmina.
Okay.
Yeah, I think one or the other.
Okay. Now, in what ways do you think that styling has evolved, or has it evolved?
It has, but it always repeats itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love any black and white movie. My favorite movie is How to Marry a Millionaire, and it's with oh my God, who is Marilyn Monroe and who's the woman that was married to Humphrey Bogart? Laura Bacall.
Laura Bacall.
She had on this fabulous, like, blouse with this jumper. I had that made. And then whenever I wear it, everybody wants to know, where did I get it? I had that, I just copied it because it's such a classic piece. And it's still sexy without you being exposed.
So I guess you would say everything that's old becomes new again.
Of course.
That's the rule of
right,
of
it's the rule of
fashion.
thumb. Yeah.
Now, in regards to the curvy model business, real quick, where do you see the business going in the future?
I can tell you how I would like to see it. What I would like to see that maybe plus size story can be in a Vogue, 10 pages. I don't know why someone hasn't thought about that, because I think the revenue will be even greater for them. Oh, are we going? Oh, okay. And revenue, get more readership. I think it would build even greater if they will combine. I'm not saying we need 20 pages, but if we can start out with 5 to 10 pages in Vogue or Glamour, I think we will change the way people will start reading magazines.
Real quickly, because we're almost out of time, tell me your website real quick.
Angelica'FashionStylist.com. That's ANGELLIKA, FashionStylist.com.
All right, y'all. We are out of time. I'd like to thank my guest today, Angelica Morton. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with a couple of thoughts. One, always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. Remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. And 3, do what you love and love what you do. Thanks for watching. My name is Sharon Quinn. I will see you guys next Saturday at 11:30. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. If you missed an episode of Model Behavior, Google Model Behavior with Sharon Quinn, and all of our previous episodes will come up on our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Class is officially dismissed. Bye, y'all.